Hi, I'm Jeannie. Welcome to Mimi Craft, your home for all things creative and DIY on a budget. I make all the mistakes so you don't have to. Hi everybody, I've missed you. It's been a minute. Summer's been a little bit busy and chaotic, a lot of babysitting, but I should be posting much more frequently coming very soon. Now, on with our projects. Our first DIY is a very easy high-end shelf for either tabletop or wall. It will take 72 blocks, but they need to be the same size, so you might want to grab a couple extra boxes of blocks for the project. First, we'll start with the brackets. Take 32 tumbling tower blocks that you've already matched to be the exact same size, and you're going to glue them on top of one another as you see here in the video. You'll have 16 sets altogether. I can't stress enough what a difference it makes if you use the same length, width, and thickness of blocks in your projects. Sand all 6 sides of each block set. Glue together 2 letter L's for each bracket. That's 4 total. You'll have 2 block sets left. When the letter L's are dry, give them a sand where you glued things together. I decided to give you a side view for the rest of the gluing in this because it gets a little confusing. You can see how those letter L's are. You're going to take one of your 2 block columns. Where my fingers are, that's where you're going to line them up. They don't fit perfectly, and I'm just showing you where to line them up just to kind of hide the discrepancy. This is the actual gluing of the pieces. There's the first letter L and the second. When those are dry, they go together like this. If you look toward the left of the screen, you'll see I used a couple spare wood blocks to hold that side up while the glue dried. Now here is the entire process in reverse to show you how to do the other side. You don't have to do this. You can make it the same way as the other one and flip it around. It's just so that you glue things to hide that little bit of side discrepancy. I glued together 40 blocks, 8 blocks wide by 5 blocks tall. I'm sure my counting is very, very helpful. You can make the shelf whatever size you like. Just keep in mind that this is not intended for anything heavyweight at all. I decided to use a neutral color wood filler to fill in the major cracks. When that was dry, I pretended to sand for the camera, and then I sanded for real. After sanding, I used a large artist paintbrush to push the rest of the sawdust into any remaining crevices, and then I brushed off the excess sawdust and sealed everything with matte Mod Podge. This is how the shelf should fit into the brackets. If desired, paint the brackets a color of your choice. I chose Apple Barrel's Nutmeg Brown. And this is how mine turned out. Now, I didn't have any hangers to try hanging this on the wall, so you're on your own. Our second DIY today is a light or sconce. Glue together 60 tumbling tower blocks, 5 wide by 12 tall. Here you'll see 11 tall. I'll fix that later. Place a hanger of your choice on the front or back, whichever side you decide that's on. I chose a sawtooth hanger, and here I put it on with hot glue just to hold it still before I put the screws in. And then later you'll see me put a tumbling tower block toward the bottom, and that'll just help to balance it on the wall. Turn it over and fill all cracks and crevices with wood filler. I'm going to be painting mine, so I could have used any color, but this is the color natural. When it's dry, sand it down. Truthfully, you could have just skipped this step because this is going to be covered up. It won't really show, but I did it. I do recommend sanding the sides so that you have a real even gluing surface. Glue 12 sets of 4 end to end. What you see me doing here is checking each for size. It's very important that these are all the same size in order for your project to look correct. I strongly recommend that you both sand and fill in any cracks and crevices with either sawdust and wood glue or wood filler. Again, I chose Apple Barrel Nutmeg Brown to paint all the wood pieces of this project. If you seal your project with Mod Podge or wax, it'll be much easier to dust. I'm gluing on that 12th row I promised. You'll need one Dollar Tree flexible cutting mat to make the shade for this light. You'll need to cut the cutting mat to 14 inches, which is already its length, and then the height of the piece that you just made. Here I am drawing a line, and then I'll be using a craft knife to cut this, get a nice clean line. This stuff was really slippery when I tried to put any type of ruler on top of it, so I taped it down to my cutting mat. I taped my ruler down as well. Tape your piece down horizontally in order to place the vertical wood blocks. And mark the center of the mat and place the first stick, that's what I'm going to call them from here on out, right on that mark, and I continue to place the sticks 1 inch apart until I used all of them up. That will give you 1 inch on each end of the mat, and that's the point which you're going to score, and you're going to fold the mat back. Very lightly run a blade across that last 1 inch mark. My blade was dull, so I did it twice, but be very careful. You don't want to cut through the plastic. You just want to make a line so that the plastic will bend easy and very straight. After those creases are made, fold your mat back flat. You'll need hot glue to glue these sticks down. Choose a good quality. Glue each stick down on the 1 inch marks with the exception of the folds you made. Be careful to keep the hot glue down the middle of these sticks as you're putting them down. You don't want any goobing out the sides because it'll show. Now it's time to glue on the shade. First, turn it right side down. Then take the back that you made, line it up with that crease. That's where it's going to be glued on. You're going to put your hot glue, as you see me doing here, right down that strip. This is actually just going to tack it down. We're going to glue it better in just a second. Run a bead of glue all the way down, nice and shaky. And glue the wrong side to the wrong side, like that. That should tack it down so that you can turn it over. Once you turn it over, now you'll be able to flood glue underneath that flap. Put a whole bunch in there, push the flap down. It'll be hot, but it really shouldn't burn you. You want to hold it till it cools. If any squeezes out, you can kind of rub it off with your hands. But see how I'm doing just a little bit at a time? And that will give it a really good permanent hold. You see there's some excess glue right there. I was able to kind of rub it off, kind of roll it up and toss it off to the side. You'll glue the other side the same way. I think it's a little easier to turn the project vertically. You can line up that crease with the front, like that. And you won't even need to tack this side down. You'll just be able to go ahead and glue as you go. Oh yeah, I helped myself with a little bit of tape. You can see I'm actually guiding the glue while it's still hot to go back so it won't come gluing up the front. Just a nice little trick. Here I am just shaping the shade to get a nice curve to it. I actually put my Mod Podge jar, bottle, whatever, in there to help shape it. But boys and girls, what did Miss Jeannie forget? The light. This is supposed to be a light. Would have been real smart to put the light on before I put the shade on. So this is how you would do it. I put my lights on with command strips because I use them over and over. Command strips don't work on wood, I have found, so it works on the light, but I have to use hot glue against the wood. But many lights that you buy will have adhesive on them already. I recommend that you use something with a remote control. I got my lights on Amazon. There's tons of choices there. And this is how the light turned out. And here are the projects in a vignette. This last project is also a light or a sconce. This one I think I made 6 times before I was able to get the video up. You're welcome. This project starts the same as the last, where you glue together the 60 blocks. But this time I painted them copper. That was a little magic you saw there. Glue together 5 sets of 5 blocks end to end. Make sure they're all the same size. Paint these copper as well. Yes, there are 7 here, but you only need 5. Ooh, new mat. Fancy. You'll need another one of these cutting mats, and you're going to be cutting 9 strips, 1 inch wide. What I'm showing you is that, again, I taped down the mat. This time I put the tape on the underside of the ruler. That worked a whole lot better. Tape all 9 strips back down to the mat as you see here on screen, both sides. Make a mark at the very center of the top strip and then mark every other strip all the rest of the way down. Move 2 inches over and mark every other strip starting with the second row. Again, move 2 inches over and starting with the first row, mark every other strip. Do the same for the left of center. Gently score the strips 1 inch in from the right and 1 inch in from the left to prepare to bend them. Bend both ends of each strip as shown. In hindsight, I should have had you bend those before you cut everything into strips. Lay the strips back down with the bent edges facing you. You're going to line up your backing with the bend on the strips. The strips are each 1 inch wide, but the backing is going to be just a little bit wider than that. So make sure everything is centered. Make sure that the backing is centered over the strips. Glue for the first strip on top down, then glue the bottom down, and then kind of alternate. This will just help you to keep things in alignment. If you look closely, you'll see that I made a second fold. Try not to allow that to confuse you. The backing butts right up to that first fold. That second fold is optional. Sorry about that. Turn your project over so the right side is up and bend over strip 2, 4, 6, and 8. Place your first stick underneath that first row of markings. This is where the glue is going to go. You put the glue on the strip, right where that marking is, then flip it over and just hold it down till it cools. Keep going all the way down. I decided to tape the strips down on the left side to keep them in alignment. Weave strips 2, 4, 6, and 8 under that first stick. Now you can see we're doing a weaving pattern. Take the next stick and put it under 2, 4, 6, and 8. That'll mean that it's over 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And then glue those strips down on those marks again, just like you did with the first stick. That's my head. Repeat this alternating pattern until all 5 sticks are glued to the strips. It dawned on me after gluing down the first couple of sticks that if you glue down the first strip and the last strip and then do the middle ones, your life will be so much easier. Now would be an awesome time to place your lighting. I like to remove my hot glue strings with a stiff bristle brush. There will be many. Flip everything over so you can glue the other end of the strips on. And this is going to be a whole lot easier. You just glue and press, and like I said before, you might want to alternate doing top, bottom, until everything is secure. I found this easier to glue horizontally, but you do you. I used this filthy doohickey that I bought at the Dollar Tree to get rid of some hot glue that was showing on the front side. And here it is. Definitely a challenge, but I think worth it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments which of the projects is your favorite. The more comments, the better. I want to hear them all. If you have any questions or if you want to communicate with me, jfloberg@gmail.com. Until the next one, bye.